A little bit more Isaac. Send it back. And we'll go back to a little Christmas Eve. Character is not very good, if I remember correctly. I'm partial to pretty much every other character. Characters that have very little damage and or HP. Oh, wonderful. Paralysis. Just utilize our... There's... My streak! What did I say? You know what? Actually, this is... She's a character where you really have to take Devil Deals and just utilize the fact that you have to maintain one heart. Which is interesting, but a lot of the time, Devil Deals can have garbage items. A whole lot of particular stuff in there. I mean, dying. We're just getting a little... We'll see if we can beat Mom's Heart with ease. Really, I just need to beat Mom's Heart 10 times. Really start getting the I think Impy is also probably get a couple of this sacrifice room, depending. Especially if everything keeps dropping red hearts. Beat the boss first and see where we can go. I love Isaac for a couple of reasons. One of them being leveraging. If you can leverage stuff that you have into making a good run, there are opportunities to do so. Like, you're not just stranded on a dead run that has most of the time. Most of the time. I've certainly had a lot of runs where I go, wow, I'm just getting some complete garbage items. Just this next Devil Deal will save me, right? Right? Please, Copium. Can somebody please save me? I can't take this anymore. I have no damage and it's been 6 floors. That's also part of the problem with characters about leveraging. Have to take the leverage. Goes poorly. Just kind of SOL. It's very easy to get unlocked. Just have no shot. We take them. Now, can we get a good devil? We have a good opportunity to get it, especially since we have our Horror of Babylon. I believe. But yeah, Christmas Eve day. Not Christmas. We're playing Eve on. I decided to give my little brother and sisters very nice gift. I got my little brother a Star Wars battle cruiser and my little sister some expensive shoes. Because I thought, why not treat them? I've been out in a different state for the last little bit. Why not allow them a better Christmas? I will spoil them at least a little. Because that's kind of... It's hard for me to... It's hard for me to feel like I'm doing a whole lot for other people, unless I'm actively doing. I think a lot of that is my programming, and a lot of that is also just the way that I've landed with. Like, I've spent enough time around the block to say, actually, I think I derive a lot of purpose from helping other people. Little joys, and just a little gift, or like volunteering a little bit of cash, help other people, make them in their time a little bit more. And I figure maybe they both look at, and that's not the kind of. Okay, well, health up. Well, let's try and take advantage of that sacrifice. We have enough HP on the floor. I think we can leverage it something worthwhile. I'd really like any sort of deep. My But yes, I find a lot of joy in ensuring that other people joy in there. Which, I mean, is one of the reasons that I was drawn to first place. The idea of being that, and like, let's be real, I've spent watched a lot of Let's Plays growing up. We might be able to leverage that into something. Go buy or bomb the spike chest. I watched a lot of things growing up. Call of Duty commentaries. That's how I met one of my best friends for a while. Middle school, an item, something. I met him through watching a smaller Call of Duty. It's like just being friendly and being like, "Oh, I'd love to play a game with you sometime." Doing that, which is kind of how I've made a lot of. I mean, I was very much considered a weird kid, kind of a social outcast of sorts throughout elementary and a lot of middle school. I think a lot of that is just trauma, also the way that I presented myself, extremely insecure, which I'm a lot less certain of. It's good to have a little bit of uncertainty, what you want and what pivot. I find because life sure has a way of throwing curveballs at you. I will gladly take that in a moment. I'm being silly. That's what I'm doing. Throwing life the brain. For real, though. Sorry, life thrown. I can throw life the brain destroyer. It can give me lemons and I can make delicious mojito. Mojitos don't have to be made from one. I know enough about food fundamentals to throw a little weird. I was just talking to my little brother about how I made what I would call a Southeastern Asia bastard soup. Just because I took a lot of different fundamentals from a lot of different cultures of that region, made a delicious ramen. well, not a ramen. I made a delicious soup with rice noodles and a bunch of other stuff in it. Rice noodles, bok choy, and ginger, a little bit of curry powder. I tempered that with ginger, garlic powder. Didn't have fresh garlic because our garlic had gone out. I love to cook, so understanding basic fundamentals of a bunch of different cultures and pivot and what we have in our. I hate waste. Unfortunately, our garlic just kind of went out. Intended to utilize it. So sometimes you gotta pivot. So yeah, we made a bastard soup that used a bunch of different fundamentals. And we threw our pantry the main. It doesn't have to be entirely cultural for it to be good. It doesn't need to be fully culturally appropriate, culturally typical in order for it to be a delicious meal. I mean, that's kind of how a lot of immigrants adapted a lot of their food. Like SOG itself oftentimes would use mustard green. So it's just using what you got. And when you have something that you're capable of cutting out again, oh man. Probably because I'm talking a little bit too quiet. I need to maintain tone and volume. One thing that you could say about my hair, something I'm kind of incapable of. Point. Am I continuing to cut out? Let's find out. I would really like it if I didn't have to worry about that. Probably need to adjust. Tone. Yep. As soon as I tone down just a little, when it cuts down. Probably need to readjust that. Tone and my volume. Gotta be projecting. Or whatever they say. I should probably take some acting classes at some point just to round out my artistry a little bit more. Because I do enjoy priding myself as a little bit of an artist. Just a little bit. I think continuing to round out my capabilities and what I'm confident in myself for could be good. Plus, you never know. Life throws you all sorts of curveballs, so you never know. I was actually that reminds me of a story, kind of a minor story, but I was, I think, like 12 years old, just in a Walmart doing some like, I think it was back to school shopping or something. I think I was in, I'm gonna say 7th grade, and I was approached by just somebody in the Walmart, like, hey, have you ever thought about acting? You have a great face for it. And that's been one of those thoughts that has just kind of like resonated in my mind. It's like, huh. One of the more random compliments I've gotten ever, but one of the few that I've gotten, period. So it's just kind of stuck around. Makes me think, maybe I did have potential in acting. But I talked to my dad about it, and oh no, that's just somebody trying to scam us. And I was just like, oh, okay. Well, guess that's how that goes. And I still think on that every now and then. The only thing I've got was someone Walmart parking lot told her to pray. That is incredible. I think I probably had that sort of easily malleable look to me, that the person was probably like, oh, you'd probably take advantage of this person. Because, like, let's be real, child actors certainly get scammable. Yes. That's probably exactly what they thought. This kid looks extremely scammable. I mean, that's really what it takes to scam people, though, is, like, give any amount of positive feedback to people that don't get positive feedback, like young masculine children. Not that I... A young male-looking child. That'll probably resonate in their head. Probably follow whatever. I do think about that still. Not because I'm like, actually, I could have been a child star. I definitely could have been a child star. And that's not really anything that I'm aiming. Definitely not now. I remember more the completely flummoxed dude. You gotta be careful about that. That's a double-edged sword. You compliment the wrong dude at the wrong time, and they will follow you forever. Then again, that's kind of how me and my spouse worked out as a duo. They were nice to me. I had not really acknowledged before. Ones that will do that will do that even if you're not saying that as a slight. No, I understand. I'm just teasing it. I'm very much aware of how that goes. Like, anytime I'm cutting out like crazy. I think I need to turn down my filter a little. If that's the case, let's do that right now. Middle of this episode. Open threshold. We'll cut that down to like right about here. I think that should work. Okay, well, I can kind of talk downward in my inflection, right? It's still catching? Yeah. Okay. As long as it's not catching all the background audio, that's really what matters. What was I saying? Compliment. Anytime I compliment somebody, it's because I think, oh yeah, wow, that's a genuinely, like, interesting dynamic that they've got. Damn it. I need those devil deals. That's an interesting look that they've got. I saw somebody on the bus recently that I was like, wow, this person has a really cool earring set. They had little like fish, like carnival bag fish earrings. Just like little goldfish earrings, but in the little plastic bag that they have in the carnival games. And I thought they were really cute, so I made sure to compliment that person. But I feel like a lot of the time I compliment people with that kind of stuff, and they're just like, oh, thanks, please stop talking to me. I will take that, actually. I need DPS. But I feel like it's just, like, a case of anybody even remotely femme does not want any attention from people. Okay, a bunch of health upgrades, I'll take that. Oh, Maggie, and the tank, and Cursed. Cool. Bunch of unlocks, we take those. But yes, I feel like a lot of people assume that there's definitely something more, like an ulterior motive to a compliment. And for me, I was just like, oh, that person just has nice earrings, and I think that they would enjoy receiving. I feel like they would enjoy some acknowledgement in their fashion style and how cute, like, their deliberate choice in fashion is. I promise I'm not a creep. I don't have any interest in somebody just because I see them on a bus. That same bus ride, I swear, somebody kept looking over at me like, oh, what is this person doing looking at me? When I was just, like, looking out the window, looking at the various house architecture, because I live in a pretty suburban area. And architecture and, like, home decor and interior design are a little bit of a fun hobby of mine, like a minor hobby, but I enjoy thinking about it, and I enjoy the ideas. Like, I'm certainly no professional, but I think home decor is important, at least in the aspect of like, everybody has a home that they live in. You gotta decorate it somehow. Even if my apartment is pretty Spartan, that's because I'm not 100% confident in how long I will be staying here. Like, if our lease ends up staying the same, I'm probably going to stay here for a little bit longer. Probably a full year. I would probably take a full year lease when our renewal comes up. Just because I find this area pleasant, and our landlord to be somebody that I trust to get things done if I need them done. For now. Maybe that'll change, but ideally not. Oh boy. We have way too many red hearts. I could really do with an Abaddon or something here. We kind of have a whole lot of nothing. I think my plan is I'm going to give this guy all of my red hearts, and then I'm going to use Balls of Steel. Okay, well, that kind of accomplishes what we're looking for. The adrenaline will certainly assist. I do get damage down. I want to try and go into the that room there. I'm just taking hits left, right, and center for no reason. Oh boy, Super Greed. Please. I need any opportunity to be able to do damage and or leverage. Don't die. I'm not worried about dying. I'm worried about the slow fizzle into wishing that I'd died. That applies to real life as well. I am but a rat in a cage. In both Isaac and in real life. I'm a sensitive bean. Skitter, skitter. I do be staying skittering. I certainly want to enjoy my time. I wish to enjoy my little rat cage as much as I can, because there are certainly some worse cages to be in. A cage of my choosing, I should say. I'd rather be in that than any other. Because the cage keeps you in, but it also keeps other things out. And sometimes you just need the protection. I would say that our current system does not protect. It merely confines. Or at least mostly confines. Can I knock this heart over? Yes. Okay. Let's see what this rush room. Okay, never mind. It's just a single brown chest. I need a little bit more than that. Oh, doorstop. Cool. I'm certainly unlocking plenty of things. What am I talking about? What was I talking about? Who are you? Where am I? Yeah, the thing about a cage is that it protects as well as confines. And when you have a cage that doesn't meet all of your needs, it's just like, look at the animals that just pace around their tiny, tiny enclosure at the zoo. Like, sure, we think, oh wow, that animal has so much area to wander around in. But is there really much more to that beaver that we saw that one time? Yeah, the beaver was just going around in a circle. It was just going. It had no purpose to what it was doing other than just going. Because it had nothing else to do. I think... Well, never mind. I was going to say, I think it might be a time to donate the donation machine, but whoopsie. Yeah, every time I go to the zoo, I try and keep out an eye for any of the animals just looking like they are having a bad time. And more often than not, you can find at least a couple. It's just... we're not made for the systems that we have created. We're not made to live in a tiny shack 100% of the time. I think I am gonna use some temperance to get some HP ups. Not HP ups, damage ups. How low do we go, though? I think I'll go down to Babylon State. Yeah, that's a sizable bit of damage. The adrenaline is pumping. Killer Machine, or whatever. What's the old, copy pasta? The old, like, Twitch meme song? Brain Power? Man, I need to listen to that one. It's been such a long time. I feel like Twitch was a very different era as well. Back when that was popular. Like 2017, 2018-ish? There's a lot has changed. A lot has stayed the same, but a lot has changed. Unfortunately, time moves on and leaves us all behind in our own way. I would prefer not to be lost in the sands of time, though. I would prefer to try and adapt at least a little bit, even just the slightest bit. Oh boy, an angel room. That's about what I need. Oh. We continue on, though. We continue onwards. Okay. I can tell I'm approaching the end of my stream time because my ears are getting flattened. I will reacclimate again at some point. But for now, we'll just limit ourselves to reasonable of streaming and talking at once. If next floor I could, well, this floor specifically, I could get a devil deal. Get Abaddon. I think Abaddon's an unlock. But if I could get like 9 lives, I would take it. It'd be great. It would be good to get rid of all of this excess HP. I'm running out of steam here. I've had things to say, but there's only so much Isaac that one can play and shoot the shit over. I can't imagine playing this game for 8 hours a day. Like 5 hours is probably the maximum that I could see. Is that because of a certain fellow bald individual? Yes. That guy's my dad. Not really, but he's probably closer to like an older brother figure for me than anybody else that I've known. But that's also because I'm the oldest child, and it has kind of fallen to my. It's kind of been my expectation that I be the one to oversee everybody else in my life. Or at least a lot of people. So having somebody that I can look to as a sort of supportive and or positive moral figure, I feel like there are worse options than NL. Did I pick him on purpose? No. No. Life is funny like that. You don't think things will go how they go. And yet they end up that way. Wish I could actually donate to the donation machine. That would be nice. Let's just get back into Babylon State. Think I can get items from any of these guys? Of course not. Back Pocket Sun card is actually great. I can use that next floor, and the IV bag can perhaps also give us a couple of benefits. Gimpy was a great pickup. It's certainly been carrying us. It's one reason, one way you know that you have a middling run is that you're talking about Isaac, also showcased by my supposed moral figure, even if I disagree with him about all sorts of stuff, like especially the sushi bit. I mean, I understand that there's a certain amount of him just like I'm looking to bait and get engagement. I'm just kind of messing around. Why are you taking the jester seriously? Kind of privilege. That's kind of the point of the jester, is to bring up the mirror to society and life. Oh boy, a damage upgrade. Wow. Ugh. My wrists are in need of popping. Am I gonna sun card for this floor? I think I am. Do I need damage? Oh, that's pretty bad, actually. We'll just kind of do what we can here. Yeah, losing the adrenaline damage is also a big debuff. Very unfortunate. But onwards we go. What was I saying? Everybody kind of needs somebody to look up to. Some people have their parents to look up to, and others have people on the internet. I need damage. I'm gonna go a little crazy here if I don't end up getting damage. I will be backtracking for this Spirit Heart too, because I need it. I'm giving myself the best leverage I can. Anyways, some people don't have the luxury of having good moral figures in their life, so they turn to Twitch streams. Is that why I'm here? Have I deciphered the riddle of the Sphinx for myself? Maybe. Who knows? I mean, a little bit of external validation is always nice, let's be real. I'm a big fan of being validated. Who isn't, though? I can't think of a whole lot of people that I know that go, oh, you're validating me? Frick you. I hate you. Why are you trying to do this? Go somewhere else. Sounds like we've got a little bit of a Christmas storm going on outside. The faded Polaroid. Oh boy, more HP. Oh, that's Gimpy rocking, but that room spawns only red hearts. Whoops! I forgot about how that worked. Alas. Let's go backtrack for that other Spirit Heart as well. Yeah, we've got a little bit of a Christmas storm outside. The last couple of days, it's been a little stormy. I've seen the weather and I've been like, I wonder when the storm's actually going to blow in. But it looks like this weekend, where I'm at, is going to be a little stormier. And I'm looking forward to that. We desperately need some kind of snow, at least up in the mountains. Because where I live, skiing is kind of an important part of the economy. Do I care about the economy that much? Not really. But apparently that's the only thing legislation cares about, so you have to frame it in such a way that insane people... Oh, Krampus. Oh, we actually have damage. Holy. Oh, my hat. I will be taking the Guppy item too. The hairball. Are there better things to try and swing for? Absolutely. But unfortunately, I don't have them, so we swing for Guppy. We can at least maximize our damage that we get from Ivy Bag and from money equals power. I'm not going to be picking up the tower. No, thank you very much. Although I can re-roll that, actually. I should probably do that. We're on the last floor anyways. The last floor for our easy runs. Okay, re-roll me. That's... Just no. Get me out of here. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the only way that you can get legislation to actually care about ecological issues is if you frame it as an economic disaster. Which drives me crazy. Isn't the saying, society grows great when men plant trees that they will never see the shade of? Instead, we have a society that says, I'm going to cut down all the trees because it can benefit me right now, and frick everybody else. I do not care about them. I don't think that's a very positive way to go about things. It's not a very good way to ensure the preservation of our species. If everybody thinks exclusively in the whole fuck you, I got mine, like, we don't need to exist like that. It just comes off as extremely selfish and unnecessary. And like you are incapable of being an actual grown human being that can think for themselves and is capable of empathy or even sympathy. All right. That's the Eve rundown. What do we get today? Moral of this episode, you should sympathize or at least empathize. Well, at least sympathize with people and perhaps empathize with others. Crow baby. Crow baby. All right, well, that's enough Isaac for today.